bracket that statisticians have been staring at for over 75 years. Not because it's the highest, not because it's the most runs, but because it makes no sense. 99.94. That's Don Bradman's Test batting average. To put that in perspective, Virat Kohli averages around 47 in Tests. Steve Smith averages around 58. Those are two of the greatest batsmen alive. Bradman is nearly double both of them. The next best completed career average in Test history belongs to Graham Pollock at 60.97. Bradman beats that by almost 40 runs per innings, every single innings. Here's the part nobody talks about. Bradman actually should have finished at exactly 100. Going into his final Test innings at the Oval in 1948, he was averaging 101.39. He only needed 4 runs to retire with a 3-digit average. The crowd gave him a standing ovation. England's captain gave him 3 cheers on the field. And then Eric Hollies bowled him a googly on the second ball. Duck. Out for 0. Bradman walked back to the pavilion having just ended the most dominant batting career in history, 4 runs short of the most perfect number possible. That average has now stood for 77 years. It's not breaking. The gap between Bradman and number 2 isn't closing. It's growing because the modern game produces more bowling variety, better conditions for bowlers, and fewer matches where one player can just take complete control for a decade. Jim Laker's 19 wickets in a Test match. A Test match has exactly 20 wickets available. 20. One bowler took 19 of them. Jim Laker, England, Old Trafford, 1956. He took 9 wickets in the first innings for 37 runs, then came back in the second innings and took all 10 for 53. Final figures, 19 wickets for 90 runs against Australia. The other 10 members of his bowling attack combined for exactly 1 wicket the entire match. Here's what makes this record genuinely untouchable. No bowler has even taken 18 wickets in a first-class match, let alone a Test. No one's come within 1 of equaling it in nearly 70 years. And we're not talking about bowling against some minnow nation. This was Australia, in an Ashes series. Laker drove home after the match, stopped at a pub in Lichfield, ordered a beer and some stale cheese sandwiches, and watched himself on the television. Nobody in the pub recognized him. His wife didn't even know what had happened. "Jim, did you do anything good today?" she reportedly asked him. 19 wickets in a Test. That record doesn't get broken. That record gets framed. Brian Lara's 400 not out. If you want to understand what this innings actually cost a human body, stop thinking about it as a cricket stat. April 2004. Antigua. West Indies were 3-0 down in a 4-match series against England. Lara himself had scored only 100 runs across the previous 3 Tests. People were saying he was finished. He batted for 778 minutes. 2 minutes short of 13 hours. 582 deliveries faced. 43 fours, 4 sixes. The closest anyone has come to his record since that day in 2004 is David Warner's 335 in 2019. That's 65 runs short, a full T20 innings away. In 21 years, no one has even gotten close. But here's the detail that actually blows my mind. Lara had already held this record before. He scored 375 against England at the same ground in Antigua in 1994. Held it for 9 years. Matthew Hayden took it with 380 against Zimbabwe in 2003. And then Lara came back to the exact same ground against the exact same team and didn't just break it. He went 20 runs further and made it a 400. He's the only player in history to break the World Test batting record twice. And the record he set the second time around? Nobody's touched it. If you're learning something new, hit that subscribe button. It helps me reach to more people like you, so it might not be much for you, but for me it means the whole world. So, yeah, back to the video. Rohit Sharma's 264 in an ODI. An ODI is 50 overs. 300 balls for a team. Rohit Sharma used 173 of them to score 264 runs by himself. not 264 as a team total. 264 as one man's score. Sri Lanka's entire chase that day was 251, which means Rohit alone outscored their entire side. He hit 33 fours and 9 sixes. His first 100 came off 100 balls. The next 164 came off 73. Want to know the insane part? Sri Lanka dropped him on 4, first 10 overs. Simple catch to third man. Thisara Pereira put it down. The bowler who delivered that ball spent the next 60 overs watching Rohit tear apart his entire attack. No player has come within 45 runs of the score in the 11 years since it was set. Rohit is also the only batsman in history to score 3 ODI double centuries. Nobody else has more than one. This record doesn't just look unbreakable, it looks like it belongs in a different sport. Sachin Tendulkar's 100 international centuries. This one is the conversation stopper. 100 international centuries, 51 in tests, 49 in ODIs. Sachin Tendulkar played his first international match in 1989, his last in 2013, a 24-year career. And he scored 100 once every 6.5 innings. The closest active player right now is Virat Kohli, who retired from tests and T20Is and sits on 85 centuries playing only ODIs. He needs 15 more, with a limited number of ODIs left before a potential 2027 World Cup. Even if Kohli gets there, which is genuinely possible, it will have taken him his entire career to match what Tendulkar did, while also playing tests for 2 decades. Here's what this record actually tells you. Bradman is the greatest test batsman. Lara holds the single highest score. But 100 centuries across formats, over 24 years against every team in the world, that's a career that was itself the record. Muralitharan's 800 test wickets. Muttiah Muralitharan took 800 wickets in test cricket across 133 matches over 18 years. The next person on the list is Shane Warne. 708. That's 92 wickets behind. Among active bowlers, the closest was James Anderson, who retired with 704. So the gap between Murali and the closest active player is essentially another Chaminda Vaas's career worth of wickets. Here's the structural problem with why no one will catch him. Murali played 133 tests. Modern bowlers barely make it to 80 or 90 before injuries, workload management, or franchise cricket pulls them away. Even if someone averaged 6 wickets per test, which nobody sustains, they'd need over 130 matches at that rate to reach 800. Anderson managed 188 tests across 21 years and still fell 96 short. 800 wickets in tests is not a record. It's a geological feature. It's just there, and everything else is happening far below it. If this helped you appreciate how ridiculous these performances actually are, hit that like button. Subscribe for more cricket explained simply. Drop a comment. Which of these do you think is the most untouchable? Thanks for watching.